Okay, we are live and I'm going to tell you all about launches. There's a big misconception out there, and that is a launch is only for new things that come up, right? Like you have a new product coming out, or you have a new package or a new challenge or something, and that's when you do a launch. That's not all, guys. It doesn't matter the stage in which you're in your business, you should be launching constantly. And let me just define what a launch is to begin with. A launch is basically a drive, right? Is something that you put out there to get as much traffic as possible to take a look at your stuff. So these can have different shapes and sizes and different flavors of it, and we're gonna walk through what those look like, but that's basically what it is. So the reason you would have a launch for something that already exists is because you need new people, right? Because you meet new people, because you have not actually reached the entire world population looking at your stuff. So the launches are to attract new potential audience members. Now, I am sorry that I'm like, it's very hot up here. I'm on my guest room and I turned off the fan. I closed all the windows. It's a hot New England day, so I'm like sweating on you right now. So anyway, why don't we get started? I lost my blue pen. I'm really hoping to find it. Anyway, why don't we start? What is a launch? All right. So, like I mentioned, a launch can have different shapes and sizes and different forms. The most common ones are a webinar, a challenge, all right, and insert your favorite activity here. Okay, it could be a video, like a teaching session like this. Like this could be a teaching session. It could be a webinar. A challenge is a special breed. A challenge is basically you can do like a 3-day challenge, a 5-day challenge, and I'm gonna use myself as an example. I actually have a challenge coming up, so I'm just gonna like plaster this with examples of stuff that I'm doing right now for my challenge. I'm gonna create a challenge that is going to be 5 days, and each day I'm going to teach my audience to do something. So the goal of it is to get you set up with all the foundations that you need to go from having a hobby to actually turning your thing into a business, right? So like select your idea, select your business model, because it's no longer a hobby. You need to make money, so you need to figure out what your business model is. You need to validate that idea to make sure that people are going to get it. I mean, that people are going to want to buy from you. You need to select your target audience and be very specific. So you need to think all these things. So that's the first 4 days. And on the last day, my expertise is in making websites. So it irks me to see how much money people spend on their websites just because they went the easy way out, because they went to Squarespace or Wix. They're like, it's easy, it's plug and play, it's WYSIWYG, I can just like move things around, I don't need to know any coding, I don't need to know anything, I'll just do it. But the more you grow and the more features you need, the more you end up paying through the nose per month, when really there is a much better way to do this that is not going to break the bank. But anyway, all that I'm going to cover in my challenge. So what I'm doing to attract people to my challenge, that is basically my launch, right? So there's stuff that you do pre-launch, during the launch, which is during the challenge, and there's stuff you do post-launch, right? So let's stick with these. The things that you do before a launch are like sending out emails. So you want, let me actually break this up into pre-launch, during the launch, and post. All right, so the goal of your pre-launch is before people actually, become engaged in what your launch actually is, your webinar, your challenge, or, whatever you're attracting people to. You have to get people there, right? So that's what you do in the pre-area, in the pre-launch sequence. Number one, you send emails to your audience. You let them know, hey, I'm doing this challenge. I think it would be really useful for you for, A, B, and C. Here's the link to sign up. So this is contacting your current audience, the people that already follow. You post on Facebook, you post on Instagram, you post on any other social media, right? And you do this consistently. You pick a time frame, right? It could be, anywhere between 2 and 3 weeks, right? It could be even longer than that, but people, they lose patience. They want to know, like, when is this happening? When can I sign up for it? So, I would say 2 to 3 weeks is a really good time frame, so it gives people something to think about, and it gets people excited, and 2 weeks is not too long to wait for something that is going to give them a lot of value. So 2 or 3 weeks ahead, you have your emails, you post it on social media, and that's all great and good, but you have not attracted any new people yet. These are all the people that are already following you. So if the goal of this is to get more people, you have to do more. So a couple of things that you can do. Number one is to run ads. All right, and running ads is a science. It's not like you just come up with a witty post and you boost it and then see who you get. Ads are a science. You have to figure out like where your target audience is, right? So you kind of go from big to small. If you've ever worked with Facebook ads before, this will sound familiar. If you've never worked with Facebook ads before, I'm gonna try to keep it as general as I can, because once you dive in, there's a lot to learn. So you start with a wide audience, right? I'm going to target women. And then I'm gonna say, okay, who in this women demographic really are my target audience, right? So in my case, I like to put in Facebook ads people who have liked things by Sheryl Sandberg, right? So it's this corporate women who know about the lean in movement, who are out there, but they're looking for something else, right? They want more meaning in their life. They want to be able to use their creativity, all that stuff. So so I'll just say they're interested in things by Sheryl Sandberg. Another one that is one of my idols is Tina Fey, because she's superwoman. She can do anything. So I put in, people who like the stuff by Tina Fey. So you start thinking about okay, who are the people that are interested in my stuff? So you start broad and you start narrowing it down. And then you start testing your ads. Nobody thinks about this stuff. You start testing your ads. It's not about putting an ad out there and saying, okay, that worked or that didn't work. You put an ad out there and see how much engagement it's getting from that audience. Put a couple different things, see which one worked best, figure out why, and then do more of that, and then start honing and honing and honing and honing. So that's what your Facebook ads strategy should be, is finding your audience, finding that sweet spot where you're going to find your audience. All right, so you want to maximize engagement, you want people to share your stuff, you want people to like your stuff, you want people to comment on your stuff, right? So you start putting out ads. You could be putting out ads for a couple of reasons. To direct people straight to your challenge link, right? You're just going out there and saying, hi, my name is Ina. I have a challenge for you. I really want you to go from hobby to business in 5 days. You're gonna get more done in 5 days than you have by yourself all year long. Sign up for this challenge. I'm gonna be there live with you. All that stuff. Ads. Very, very important. You can also do Google ads. You can do Instagram. Insta story ads are very popular right now. They're so in. Is what people do right now. So if you check their Insta stories, they're pretty effective because you're already watching things that you trust. So when something comes in, if it's attractive to you, you may want to click on it. So ads is a great way to attract new people. Another way to attract new people, actually, there's a few here, but they all kind of have the same theme, which is to try to attract people in somebody else's audience. The way this works, there's a couple ways to do this. You can go on Facebook groups, join Facebook groups where your audience may be hanging out, and don't go around direct messaging other people's audiences. That's not cool. You have to be respectful of people's groups. But in these groups, they normally have a day where they say, hey, everyone who has a business, today is the day to promote your business. So they'll post that, and then people can comment below saying oh, this is my business, this is what I do. So you go and you start posting there, right? That gives you visibility to a whole group of people that are in your target audience. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to do guest blog posting. So in my last video in lesson number 1, which is actually episode number 11. You can get to it by going to inacoveney.com/YT11, or click on the card that is appearing on your screen if you're on YouTube. there's a card popping up right now telling you that's lesson number 1. Go check it out because it's really, really, really good stuff. So in that lesson, I told you about the importance of putting up blog posts, content consistently, right? You can actually go and ask someone else who has like a similar audience to you and say, hey, would you like to do a trade? I write a guest post in your blog, you write one in mine, we share audiences, we start, attracting more people that way. Usually people are cool with that because it's a very common way to just reach a wider audience. So guest posts are really good. So I'm gonna start writing that here. So Facebook groups promo day. All right, yay. Another one, guest blog posting. Another one, I'm just going to put it under the PR umbrella. So there are ways for you to get on magazines, for you to get on online publications. And so all you have to do is Google, how do I answer a reporter's question, right? Reporters are looking for sources all the time. So it takes a little bit of work. You have to actually put in your submissions, be very professional about it, and get reporters to use you as a source, to use you as an expert. Now, that's probably not something that you're gonna get a lot of value from in 2 or 3 weeks, but it's something you should be doing anyway to attract a wider audience that is outside of your Facebook groups already, right? So PR, it's a real big one. Don't forget it. Putting your name out there is super, super important. So I hope I've given you an idea of how to get your current audience engaged and how to get new people engaged. These are just a few ideas, guys. There's so much more that goes into this. All right, so let's just jump to the launch. I'm already at 13 minutes and I really wanted to keep this at 10. Story of my life. So in your launch, what you're gonna do is your webinar, you're gonna do your challenge. So for your webinar, all right, be there live, get people to answer to you, get people to ask questions, talk to them, see how they feel about what you're teaching, interrupt your webinar halfway through and be like, okay, does anybody have any questions? Make it as interactive as you can. Take advantage of the fact that these things are happening live. All right, so that's your webinar. During your webinar, what you're gonna do is you're gonna teach for 75% of the time, and then you're going to pitch for 25% of the time. All right, so if your webinar is an hour long, you're gonna spend 15 minutes pitching, but you're gonna give 45 minutes of your best stuff. You have to have a super catchy title because people are busy. They're not just going to take time out of their life to come to a webinar that they don't care about. They're not gonna do that, all right? Just get that in your head, they're not gonna do it. So you have to make it super content packed, super important. So for that, you need to know who your target audience is because you need to know what is keeping them up at night. That's what you're gonna teach in your webinar, all right? So 45 minutes of teaching, 15 minutes of pitching. People expect it, all right? I don't want you to be afraid of the pitching part. People are expecting that if they're going to a webinar, they're learning all this stuff from you for free, and if they want more from you, that's when you tell them, so this is how you get more from me. I'm going to give you this course, I'm going to give you this live experience or this group experience, and people will want more from you. Some people might not. And that is okay, because when people like you, when people trust you, when people are coming to look at your stuff, they may share it with others. So it's never about the people who buy versus the people who don't buy. Never think about it that way. You're reaching a wide audience that is going to like you. Those are going to be your tribe. They're going to be your people. Treat them well. Give them good stuff, regardless of the status. Whether they buy or not is irrelevant. They are your friends. All right? So next, your challenge. So the way that I'm structuring my challenge, just to give you an idea, is I'm gonna be there live 5 days straight, all right? I created a Facebook group that is going to be specifically for people who sign up to the challenge. And I'm going to be there, sending them reminders before the launch. But by the time the challenge comes in, I am full on. Apparently, I saw this today on Facebook when I created the group for my challenge. There is a way for you to make your Facebook group like a learning group, so you can actually create units. So I'm going to create a unit for each day where I'm going to be giving people the homework for each day. It's going to be an event so they can add it to their calendar. Facebook is going to remind them, hey, remember to come to the live event. I'm going to be there live at noon every day Eastern time. But I'm going to make the replay available, all that stuff. So you have to make it really easy for people to consume that stuff, all right? But you have to be there live for people who want questions answered live. And if people can't be there live, that's okay. They go to the Facebook group and you can answer questions there, all right? So my challenge is going to be 5 days. Each day has a theme. Each day I'm going to teach you something new. And then, people get engaged. On the last day, it's pitch day. On the last day is you say, okay, this is your homework for today, this is what you're gonna do. And also, since this is the end of the challenge, thank you so much for coming. This is how you get more from me, all right? I'm going to, show you like a new course that I created. This is how much it costs. You create payment plans so that it's really easy for people to sign up. So remember that this is a business after all, but you're building a community. You want people to trust you. So you're giving them really good stuff for those 5 days. You're not holding back, all right? And then on day 5 is when you say, here's your homework for today, here's how you can get more from me, all right? So that's basically what happens during your launch. For webinar, I'm gonna go back to webinar for a second. Make sure, for the challenge, I'm going to keep it consistent because I don't want people to forget at what time I'm going to be live, so it's very important to me to say I'm gonna be there at noon every day. But for your webinar, you will need at least 3 opportunities for people to sign up because you want people there live. So, I would try different day, different time of day, right? So do morning, noon, and night. Some people need their time to put the kids to bed, and so that will be those people. Some people, are available during the day or during lunchtime, so noon is a good time. Some people are in a different continent altogether, so you want to have it at a different time. So play with that. Don't just stick to one time slot. After the challenge and after the webinar, you send out the replay, all right? You want people to have the opportunity to watch it if they weren't there live. You really do. And then post, because I'm running out of time. I'm already at 19 minutes. How do I keep this at 10 minutes? Somebody tell me. So for post, what you do is basically you email the people. Remember that when people signed up for your challenge or for your webinar, you got their email address, right? So you can send them the replay and you can send them, all the other emails. So for post, you're going to be sending emails to those people. You're also going to be retargeting people that looked at your ads, all right? And you're gonna tell them, hey, I noticed that you watched my ad video, but you didn't actually sign up. Why not? Here is some more information about that webinar. Here's some more information. So in post, you're trying to get everyone who didn't sign up to know that, hey, it's not too late. Here's a replay link. You can still watch it. Let me know if you have any questions. We have this Facebook group, so sign up here so I can add you to the Facebook group. And so this is going to be emails. You're gonna go on social media. It's going to look a lot like the pre-launch, all right? But it's going to basically say, it's not too late. You can still do this. Let me know if you have any questions. If you need another live session, right, that's fine, just to answer questions. I'm usually live on Fridays, so that's probably what I'm going to do. Come back on Friday, I'll answer your questions, that kind of thing. So, and that's kind of what your launch process is. The link to sign up for my launch is inacoveney.com/hero. All right, because my program is called From Hobby Zero to Business Hero in 5 days. I'm just basically going to get you to think through your idea, through your target audience, through what your business model should be, through validating your idea to make sure that it's going to succeed before you even spend any money on it. And finally, we're going to look at your website. I'm going to give you super useful information so you can design your website in your head so that you can take that next step and actually make something that is going to convert, something that is going to work, because that's really what I'm good at. I need you to think through all this business stuff first first, because it's super important that you're doing something, number one, that you love, number two, that you're gonna actually be able to sell and actually get an audience for, right? But the website part, I'm a wealth of knowledge on, and how to do it cheaply too. So that's gonna be my day 5, is this is how you do your website. So without further ado, 21 minutes, how did my 10 minutes go? I hope you listened to this whole thing, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. I have a lot more to teach you, and I think the bubble is going to be somewhere here. Let's just say it's going to be here. I'm going to point here. Remember to subscribe, all right? And check out a couple more episodes. They're really helpful. If you have not seen lesson 1, go back and check it out. It should be appearing on your screen right now, because that's how I planned it. I'm going to say that it's going to be right here. Yeah. Check it out. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye, world. I will see you next time.